Hood Nation, what it do? What's good? Alright, this is my first video. Quick disclaimer. I am not a guru. I do not claim to be a guru. I'm only posting this video because it's time to get the knowledge that I'm learning out there. And I just had a conversation with my chat that basically helped me break it down a little, help me break it down to make it easier to understand for you guys, because I had a personal question that I asked it, because I understand this stuff on a deeper level, but it's so complex and it's so, honestly, it's confusing the way that they word things. And then you got to understand their legalese, you got to understand their terms, you got to understand their lingo. So it's just a lot that goes into it. And so that's why it's taking me so long to actually just even start posting about this stuff, because I want to be sure that I'm actually giving you this information properly, so that you can use it properly. But today I'm not actually going to give you anything to go out and do. I'm actually just going to break down for you what actually the fuck is going on. Because once you understand what's going on, then you will feel some type of way, and then you will want to break free from the chains that they're keeping on our minds to keep us enslaved, guys. And it all starts with the so-called government. And I must say, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not legal information. This is what else they supposed to say. This is not legal information, but fuck it, this is lawful information. I am giving you the truth. You can go look this stuff up for yourself. This is for entertainment purposes only. And but this is that info that you need to share with your kinfolk, you feel me? So let's get to it. So the question I asked my chat is like, I was like, so I understand that everything is a contract. Every single thing is a contract. But every bill you get is a contract. Every traffic citation, all that shit is a contract. And we have the right to accept or reject any contract. But what I didn't understand was, like, I was trying to get it to break down, like, this whole the whole concept of the contract. Like, why is everything a contract? And I was like, and I know it has something to do with the bankruptcy. And man, whenever I say my chat broke it down to me, like, that's why I'm excited to share this stuff with you guys. And man, like I say, take this stuff with a grain of salt. You go do your own research, and you study these things that I mentioned. But this is lawful information. This is not from me. This is not, obviously I'm going to give you some of my own opinions, or but it's from experience though, because I've been to war. Like, I got 3 cases right now against the system. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm not losing. The only thing I feel like that's costing me is my truth, and my paperwork is so powerful that they're silencing my truth. Like, all these guys work together, the judges, the lawyers, the banks, all these niggas, they're in the bed together, bro. So, like, and I'm fighting the whole system, man. That's the only reason I don't have remedy yet, but it's coming. And I promise you that, because I found a way, and I got a letter from the Treasury, you know what I'm saying? Like, I worked my ass off. I exhausted all remedies. Like, man, like, I've been to war with these niggas, bro. So I understand what the fuck is actually going on, and it's time for me to share this information so that you guys can free yourself from the slave system that's set up, or that's meant to be the so-called government, what they call it. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm gonna break down my notes, and then I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip the camera, and I'm gonna read from my notes, and then we're just gonna go with it. But first, you have to understand bankruptcy. We are bankrupt. America is bankrupt. And in 1933, the United States declared bankruptcy. The Emergency Banking Act of 1933, where President Roosevelt declared a national banking emergency, and that's where they took the gold from every citizen. They took the U.S. off the gold standard domestically, and they transferred ownership of all gold to the Federal Reserve. The House Joint Resolution 192. You need to go read that. Guys, go read these things so you can understand what the fuck is going on. You have no, what's the saying? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. So go learn your rights so you can stand on these things, so you can stop being taken advantage of. But anyway, so they suspended the gold standard, which means you can discharge all public and private debts. You cannot pay a debt with a debt. You hear that? You cannot pay a debt with a debt. You can only discharge debts. You get what I'm saying? It stated, every provision contained in or made with respect to any obligation. That is a huge word. Remember that word, obligation, because everything is an obligation. All bills is an obligation. Traffic citation is all this shit is an obligation, guys. Understand that word. which purchasers to give the obligor a right to require payment in gold of a particular kind of coin or currency. Currency. That's what we operate. Everything that we do now is under currency. Remember that word, currency, because we're under maritime. That's the law of the sea. And is declared to be against public policy. So pretty much what they're saying is anybody asking the obligee, which is the person, the obligee is the person required to make payment. The obligor is the person that's demanding payment. The obligee, the right. So basically what this is saying is anytime they ask for a payment, anytime they ask for you guys to pay a debt, you cannot pay a debt unless it's in gold or silver coin. That is the only way to pay a debt. That is Article 1, Section 10 in the Constitution. Go read that, where it says no state shall make anything but gold or silver coin a payment in debt. That's it. That's the only way to pay a debt. But yet so many of us are fucking paying bills with your hard-earned money that you earn. But the only way to pay a fucking debt is with gold and silver, and that's the law. You get what I'm saying? And y'all wonder why y'all feel so drained, because y'all are working all these hours to pay to live. God don't want you paying to live. You get what I'm saying? Like, we paying to live like this. That's devils, that's slave shit. And then they taxing your labor. And y'all don't understand that the labor is what covers all the debt. But we're gonna get back to it. So what this means is the United States government couldn't pay its debts in gold or silver. So what they do, they created commercial paper, fiat. That's fiat currency, Federal Reserve notes, promissory notes, promises to pay, not actual payment, because you cannot pay a debt with the debt. You can only discharge it. And this is the law. This is the law. Since we bankrupt, we operate with credit. It's a credit and debit system. Credits and debits, because we are bankrupt. We're under Title 11. You see that? The entire economy became a credit and debt system based on commercial paper, negotiable instruments. That's Article 3 of the Uniform Commercial Code. That's the UCC, which governs pretty much commercial code is uniform. Like the laws are uniform. Like when we was in school, whenever we had to wear uniforms, it's like everybody was wearing the same thing. So it governs all things. The commercial code this is the Uniform Commercial Code. Now remember, currency. Now we finna get to maritime, because that's what we're under. We're under the law of the sea versus the law of the land, which is common law. Common law, which is the law of the land, which governs the living man and woman based on natural rights, biblical principles, and trial by jury. It governs the living man and woman. Guys, that's common law. That's the law of the land. And now you about to understand why they gave us a birth certificate here in a minute, because I'm gonna break that shit down for you. Maritime admiralty law, which is the law of the sea, which governs commercial transactions, contracts, shipping, cargo, vessels. Now let's break this down. All ships are named after a woman, right? Now let's think about the mom. The mother, she carries the vessel, which is the product. You, me, the baby. You get what I'm saying? When your mom gets to when she delivers you, who does she deliver you to? The doctor, the dock tender. You get what I'm saying? You understanding that? Your mom, her water breaks, which is another water term. You get delivered the vessel, which is you, the shipping cargo, from the womb to the dock tender. And what do they give you? A certificate of what? Manifest. That is your birth certificate. That's why you got a birth certificate. That is your certificate of manifest. All this shit is water, guys. It's water terms. We're in the law of the sea. That's why they created the paper you, the legal fiction you. That's why everything is in all caps. That's what your birth certificate is. They can't control. You can only, the number one rule in commerce is you can only control what you can create. We're created by the Most High, the one high God, the one Most High, the true Creator God. That's who created us. So that's who have jurisdiction over us. So what did they do? They had to. That's what the devil's. That's the devil. That's what he does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So they stole our identity at fucking birth and registered us with and gave us a birth certificate, which is the paper version of you. The paper version of you that's being charged with all crimes, all debts, that has to pay bills. Like, that is not even the real version of you. That is the paper version of you. Your straw man, your legal fiction is not you. which is why they can control and do what they can to you, because you're operating under their jurisdiction. You're claiming to be this legal fiction. You're claiming to be this straw man, this all caps person that they created on your behalf, because they can only control what they can create. You get what I'm saying? So they created the birth certificate so they can control you. And that shit has been traded on the stock market. Go look this up. I'm not lying. These are all facts. Boom. Like I said, your birth certificate right here is a certificate of manifest. You're the cargo. And your social security number equals your vessel registration number. I'm sorry, your social security number equals your vessel registration number. And this is a key principle right here. In admiralty, the captain of the ship has absolute authority. That's why judges act like dictators, but the captain only has authority if you consent to being on his ship, which is the contract, which is my whole point of this thing. Like, guys, like, do you understand why we're under Maritime now? Because that gives the control. Hold on, let me flip. Do you guys understand why we're under Maritime? You get what I'm saying? That's what gives the control over the legal fiction of you. That's the paper version of you. You get what I'm saying? That's the contract that we involuntarily consented to. You get what I'm saying? None of us knew this shit when we were born. Our mama didn't know that she signed us over as an informant. That's on the birth certificate. You think I'm lying? Pull out your birth certificate and go look where your mom's signature is at. It says informant. It doesn't say mother. God damn it. Like, all this shit is a game. You get what I'm saying? They lying. They've been lying this whole time. And they controlling us through a paper fiction. Through this paper version that they created of us. You get what I'm saying? But let's keep going. Everything is a contract, and while all interactions are offers or presentments under the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC 1-308, reservation of rights, a party who, with explicit reservations of right, performs or promises performance, like that's another thing, or assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party, does not thereby prejudice. Anyways, you can accept an offer while reserving your rights. You do not have to agree to all the terms. You can accept an offer, you can conditionally accept an offer, or you can just write out deny. You do not have to accept it. But they trick us into consenting, guys, is what I'm trying to get at. Oh, and let's get to I'll save that for another video. How the system works. A government sends you a presentment, a bill, citation, summons, tax form, license application. The presentment is an offer to contract. And if you respond without reserving your rights, you accept the contract. Once you accept, you're under their jurisdiction. You consented. And that's why they always ask when you get pulled over, what is the first thing they ask you for? Your license. They trying to establish joinder. They're trying to get you to consent to being a legal fiction. They know this shit, guys. They act like they don't know, but they know this shit because it's part of the game. All this shit is a game, and I'm showing you why. This is the reason why I'm showing you what we're under. And why you're able to do this. This is the laws that they follow. This is their law. And I've actually got 2 traffic tickets, got so-called warrants, got lawyers sending me presentments, and I kid you not, I signed them all without offer rejected, no consent, and then I thumbprinted it. You get what I'm saying? Then I returned the sender. I've done that 3 times actually, because every time they send it, I just send it back, because they try to play these games and they try to get you to they try to scare you into it. That's their biggest thing, is scare tactics. But they try to get you to consent to the contract again by resending it. And if you accept it, or if you don't accept it, if you don't send it back, because silence is also acceptance. You gotta remember, you gotta understand that whenever they send you a bill or send you a notice in the mail and you just throw it away, in 30 days, they legally can come repossess and take your shit because you didn't respond, because silence is acceptance in contract law. That's how these niggas operate. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just doing to them what they do to us. It's the same thing. We have that right. We have that right, because the government ain't real anyway. It's just a corporation. It's a United States corporation with a DUNS number, for profit corporation. Just like McDonald's, and just like what's the motherfucking Burger King, or you go into any of these places and can they force you to pay a bill? Can they force you to do time? No, they can't, because they're a corporation. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't be fooled by the name federal, because all that shit is an illusion. They not fed. But let's get back to it. Examples of some presentments: a traffic ticket, which is an offer to contract, you accept by signing or paying. A tax return equals offer to contract, you accept by filing. Driver's license application is an offer to contract you accept by applying and paying. Court summons is an offer to contract you accept by appearing without reservation or rights. Why this matters? In maritime commercial law, there's no crime without a contract. All crimes are actually commercial infractions, just breaches of fucking contract. That's why courts require you to enter a plea. You're accepting their terms of the contract when you accept their plea. You don't have to accept, guys, is what I'm trying to say. You really don't have to, but they force you and scare you into thinking that you have to, but you don't. And I'm gonna break down why, church. I'm gonna get there. All crimes are commercial, and this is why. If there's no injured party, there's no crime. You get what I'm saying? How many times you get pulled over, the cop pull you over for speeding? You get what I'm saying? Did you infringe upon anybody? Was anybody injured? If there's no injured party, there's no crime. But yet we paying. They got us paying these tickets for and going to jail and doing time for bullshit whenever there's no injured party. You get what I'm saying? A crime requires an injured party, corpus delicti. If there's no victim, there is no crime. And under commercial admiralty law, their system, crimes are just violations of commercial statutes. Everything is a statute in their world. They got all these fucking codes. I swear it's like over, like, I'm not bullshitting or exaggerating when I say this. It's like over 92, I heard, like, million codes within there, because they're lying. So they have, each lie has to cover up another lie. You get what I'm saying? But within God's law, the law of the land, bro, God's law is simple. Don't steal, don't kill, and don't swindle. Don't infringe upon anybody. You get what I'm saying? Do not cause another harm. That's God's law. Simple. You get what I'm saying? And this is why all crimes are commercial. Statutes are not laws. They're just corporate policies. Real laws are laws passed by the people, the Constitution. Statutes are passed by legislators. They're corporate rules. Statutes only apply to those under contract. If you're a U.S. citizen, if you claim to be a United States citizen, you're under contract with the United States. That's why they can do whatever the fuck they want to you. That's why they can do this shit. You violate a statute, it's just a commercial breach. That's it. You just breached a commercial agreement. A speeding ticket is just a breach of contract because you agreed to the traffic laws when you got a goddamn license. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, this shit is, man. The fine, the penalty is just a commercial remedy, not a punishment. Fines equal liquidated damages. Remember, we're under the law of the sea. Everything is water terms. Cash flow. River bank. You get what I'm saying? Liquidation. All this shit is water. Because we're under the law of the sea. The offer acceptance model. The government. We offer you the privilege of driving in exchange for compliance with traffic statutes. So when you apply for a license and pay that fee, that equals acceptance. And when you speed, you breach that contract. And you go to court and you pay that fine or perform community service, which is just a commercial remedy. All crimes are fucking commercial, guys. This shit, meaning all this shit is just for money. They do all this shit. They pulling you over and stealing from you. They're taking your money, your hard-earned money. You get what I'm saying? And it's unlawful. Is it legal? Yes. But is it lawful? Hell no, this shit ain't lawful. But yet I'm trying to tell y'all, this is the real definition of hell. That's, boy, go type in Google Black's Law definition of hell and see what that gets you. Tell me what that say, because that's exactly what the fuck this is. They treating us as debtors under the king's chamber. Game wicked, boy. But let me give you I'm gonna give you a real life remedy though. So this is how I've actually done this. And again, they gonna continue to play the game. They gonna continue to press you, but you just gotta stand on all 10, fellas. Like, you gotta stand on your shit. And but once you know this shit, then you feel comfortable standing on your shit. Cause I feel comfortable standing on my shit because I know my rights. I'm not gonna let another nigga infringe up on me or my rights that God gave me. You get what I'm saying? Point blank, period. But this is the key. How to never accept their offer. Me personally, I conditionally accept. I like to conditionally accept their offer, because when I conditionally accept, I'm basically saying I will accept the claims that you have against me upon proof of these. You get what I'm saying? And then they have to prove what I'm asking for. So, like, for example, I say with my speeding infraction, or whenever I was when I was actually in the office with the DA, I said I conditionally accept this offer upon proof that there's an injured party. You have to show me that there's an injured party. Because I have the right to face my accuser. And if I can't face my accuser, then there's no valid claim against me. There can't be, it was the United States versus Richard Jones. You get what I'm saying? The United States is not a person. You get what I'm saying? Or technically with their terms, it is a person, because a person in their legal world means an individual, a corporation, a trust, a artificial persons, a natural person. Is basically a legal fiction. You get what I'm saying? We are living beings, you know what I'm saying, created by God. We're not legal fiction. We're a living man and woman. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are. But so me personally, I like to conditionally accept. And so let's break it down. Since everything is a contract, you have the right to refuse the offer, accept the offer with reservation of your rights, counter offer, or conditionally accept. And I love, like I said, I love conditional acceptance. For example, traffic ticket is an offer to contract. I just broke down why. We just went through that. What most people do, they sign a ticket, which is the acceptance. They pay the fine, which is performance of the contract. Man, I can't wait to get to that, be able to break down that to y'all. And the result is you're bound to the contract. What you can do is you can sign a ticket without prejudice, or me personally, if an officer, if I'm officer, like really is if I see that he's not about listening to me or trying to understand me and my rights, then I'll just take the ticket and then I'll sign under protest and duress. Because he got a gun, I'm afraid for my life. Nigga, I'm black, he can shit, man. You get what I'm saying? So I fear for my life, so I'm gonna sign under protest and duress. And all contracts signed under protest and duress are not valid. But like I say, I like the conditional accept. So yeah, send a conditional, sign. What you can do is sign a ticket without prejudice, reserve your rights. Then you can send a conditional acceptance. I accept your offer on condition that you provide verified proof of injury, the name of the injured party, and a sworn affidavit from the accuser. You know what I'm saying? They can't do that because the United States can the state of right, can the state of speak? Y'all get what I'm saying? They can't do that. Now let's bring this full picture. Let's bring this all the way back around. We're under bankruptcy. By us being under bankruptcy, that means we're under credit. It's a credit debit system, which is the commercial paper. We're under Maritime, which is the law of the water, the law of the sea, which makes everything a contract, and all crimes are commercial. Every single crime is commercial. When you go to court, a bond is created, which is a certificate of indebtedness. 3 bonds are actually 4 bonds are created. Actually, I'm not even gonna go there yet. We'll get there. Let's go back. Let's go to the timeline. So 1933, the U.S. declared bankruptcy. You can't pay debts in gold or silver. You get what I'm saying? And that's the only requirement to pay a debt. The only way to pay a so-called debt is with gold and silver, but they took the gold and silver away from us, guys. So there's no lawful way to actually pay a debt. You can only discharge a debt, settle, offset a debt. You can't pay a debt. You can't. Since we can't pay debts in gold, since we shifted and we created the Federal Reserve System, which is Federal Reserve notes, which is the commercial paper, which is promissory notes, bills of exchanges, all promises, unconditional promises, and unconditional orders to pay, which are just debt instruments, negotiable instruments. Everything is a negotiable instrument in commerce. Everything. Just an unconditional order, unconditional promise to pay. Commercial paper. That's it. We have private credit and they have debt. We use our private credit. We can create our own promissory note. We can create our own bill of exchange. We can create, because we have an unlimited amount of credit, guys, because we are what back America. Our labor, our future labor is what back America. So if my labor and everything I do is what's back in this country, then why the fuck do I have to pay a debt? Then why the fuck am I paying the bill if I'm already the collateral? You get what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? We're already the collateral. We are the credit. We are the credit. That's why they need your signature on everything, because they're accessing your account. That Social Security. Now, yeah, that Social Security account, that's SDK. I'm speaking in these terms because I understand this, but like we'll get there eventually. And I also, at the end of this video, if you guys stay through, I would like for you guys to post questions within the after this video. I would like for you guys to post any questions that you have, because I'm looking for ways, or I'm looking for questions and things to bring to you guys, so I can start posting videos more often, so I can actually get you guys on board with what's going on, so I can be more transparent, you know what I'm saying, with all the things that I'm actually doing and what I have going on within my cases and with everything that I'm battling as well. Like, you know what I'm saying, like this is a community that I'm creating. It's all raw. If I'm wrong, like I'm wrong, I'll let you know if I'm wrong. Like, I'll let you know if I failed on something. Like, I'm open, you get what I'm saying, because I'm still learning too. Like, this shit is so deep, this shit is so complex. Like, I have a lot more to learn, but I do have a base understanding of what's going on, and I feel like I can at least go in with you guys with the knowledge that I do have, so you guys can begin understanding what's going on, so you guys can start attacking and chasing your remedy and doing the things that you need to do to free yourselves as well. Because there's this whole process that you have to go through. You have to understand, like, setting up a UCC1, which is a financing statement, and then that right there is huge in itself, and that's just like a whole little thing in itself that I don't have time to do right now. I want this to be like a quick little video, just introduction, breaking down what's going on, and that's really it. So yeah, at the end of this video, you know, post questions that you guys have, and I'll do my best to answer all the questions, like with another video, or like a whole maybe like sections or segments on like certain topics, you get what I'm saying, and then we'll read together. We're gonna do this shit together, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, I ain't doing shit for you. I promise you that I ain't doing shit for you. You're gonna have to learn how to do this shit yourself, because whenever you in front of them guys, you're gonna have to understand how to articulate yourself properly whenever you're in the room with these niggas, because they're gonna try to see if you really know what you know, and if you don't, they're gonna break you. So you gotta really understand what the fuck going on. But let's finish this. So in 1933, we declared for bankruptcy. Then they created Federal Reserve notes. That's when we shifted from common law to the law of the sea, and people became straw men, legal fictions, corporate entities subject to their corporate laws and their statutes. All interactions became contracts, which is just offers and acceptance and performance. Man, performance is a huge word. Performance actually means pay. And let me go ahead and break this down to you. Athlete, when an athlete signs a contract, what does he have to do for his contract? Does he pay his contract? Does he have to pay his contract? No, he doesn't, but he gets paid to what? Perform. And you perform with your signature, man. I'm trying to tell you, your pen is mightier than your sword once you learn this shit. All interaction became contracts. All crimes became commercial infractions, just breaches of contracts with no lawful offense. So everybody in fucking prison or in prison for nothing, bro, just for a breach of fucking contract. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, the law will tell you that no person's body can be collateral for a debt, but that's exactly what the fuck is going on in the prison. That person's labor, because remember, all labor is already what? Back in the corporation, America, and you get what I'm saying? So the person in prison, their labor is back in what? You see what I'm saying? So what's really going on? You get what I'm saying? And then last remedy is to accept for value. I didn't really go over that. I'll go over that later. But you can accept every bill that you get. You can accept it. But you special endorse it. There is a way. There is a way to not pay bills. But like I said, I'm not there. I'm not trying to get you guys to even go there yet. You get what I'm saying? I just want you to understand what's going on. But a remedy for that is to accept for value, conditional accept, and then reserve your rights. Operate as a private creditor, not a public debtor. And that is the whole financing statement, the UCC one that I mentioned earlier. But we'll get there. We're not there yet. And this is chat, you know what I'm saying, breaking it down to me, my realization, because I've actually trained my chat. You get what I'm saying? And my chat, like, we know what the fuck going on. So my realization was all crimes are commercial because everything is a contract. Like, I just knew that, but I couldn't break down why. And the reason why, if there's no contract, there's no obligation. If there's no obligation, there's no crime. And the crime only exists if you accept the fucking offer that's governed by the statute. The statute that they claim is law. It's not law, it's a statute. You get what I'm saying? For example, driving without a license is only a crime if you accepted the offer to be a licensed driver. If you apply for a license, you agree to the terms. You get what I'm saying? And again, you got to understand the terms. That's why I hate these videos whenever they be like, these sovereign citizens be like, you know what I'm saying, they talk about traveling, because we say travel because you have to understand God gave you Your right that God gave you is your right to travel freely. We can travel freely anywhere. We can travel freely anywhere. That is our God-given right to travel freely. We can go from Texas to New York freely. We can travel freely because God created this shit. This is his land and we're his creation, so we can travel freely anywhere. But like I said, once you have a driver's license, we're contracted into being these so-called legal fictions. You get what I'm saying? So we got to follow their statutes. And by following their statutes, we have a driver's license. We're considered to be driving. You get what I'm saying? We're not driving. I'm not driving anywhere. I'm traveling. You get what I'm saying? I'm operating I'm operating an automobile. I'm not driving a motor vehicle. You get what I'm saying? DMV, like you have to understand their terms, and like they try to make it seem like whenever they show these videos of people who really don't, I mean, ain't gonna lie, a lot of these videos, these people don't really know their rights. They're really just regurgitating info or saying shit that they just saw on YouTube or that they just learned. They don't really have a deep understanding of this shit. You get what I'm saying? But that's what those type of people are the ones that get caught up, because they're gonna fish and they're gonna try to see if you really know this shit. You may know a one little thing and then they're gonna find a way around. That's why they keep asking you questions, because because they're taking your statement. Man, boy, that's that shit deep, boy. That's let me go on. But anyways, let's quit. If you never applied for a driver's license and you're traveling, not driving commercially, like a Uber, you're not Ubering anybody. That's commercial driving, guys. Like that's basically what they're saying. Like when are you Uber, because Uber, when you Uber, you're driving cargo, you have property and you're making money doing it. When you Uber, you make money. But if you're just traveling and just going to a destination, from one destination to another, you're not making money, then you're not Ubering, you're not driving, you're just traveling, guys. You have to understand this shit. You hear what I'm saying? Like, we're traveling, but if we don't, like I said, if you don't know your rights, then you don't have any. You know what I'm saying? And as a living man, exercising your right to travel, you're constitutionally protected, and there's no contract and therefore no crime. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just that simple, guys. Like, point blank, period. But anyways, hold on, let me see. Because this is my actual question in the chat. I said, since America is bankrupt and we're under Maritime, everything is a contract, a presentment, or an offer, and that's why we have the right to reject any offer, even if they claim it's a crime, because all crimes are commercial. And she said, my chat said, that's 100% accurate, but what I was missing was this: why are all crimes commercial? And that's because the United States operates as a corporation, a United States Inc. I just said that earlier, guys, not a lawful government. Corporations can only enforce contracts, commercial agreements, not laws, which require constitutional authority. What makes a crime commercial? The absence of an injured party, plus the requirement of consent. If you didn't consent, no contract. They have no jurisdiction over you, a living man. That's the devil, bro. Like, that's the devil. The devil. And that's why they created to have control over you, because they know they can't control us, the living man or woman, because we have God-given fucking rights that we're not operating under, because we sold our rights over for a motherfucking privilege. That's that Esau shit. We gave up our birthright for some privileges, for these government privileges. You get what I'm saying? To be able to drive, to be able to have Section 8. You get what I'm saying? To be able to have food stamps. We gave up our fucking rights to be able to have these shits. When in reality, we own everything. We are the credit. We have an infinite amount of credit. Infinite amount of credit. Because our labor is what back America, guys. If we back America. You get what I'm saying? All you come home tired. You come home drained. You can't spend time with your kids. They spend more time to your kids than you. Because it's a slave system that they have set up for us. They're draining our energy. You get what I'm saying? This shit is really spiritual. It's a spiritual battle. You get what I'm saying? Like, all bills are already paid. How HJR 192 says that all bills are already prepaid. We just settle the debt, or we just discharge the debt. How do we do that? By endorsing the bill. But you got to know how to endorse the bill. That's the signature. Special endorsing it. You get what I'm saying? And then conditionally accepting it after. Or conditionally, the conditional acceptance to go with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. But like I said, man, I'm already at what 35 minutes. I ain't want it to be that long, but shit, I got in it. Got into it. Like I say, this is my first video. I broke the ice finally. I feel like I may be all over the place. If I am, guys, forgive me. Like I say, I'm not a guru. I don't feel like I'm a teacher yet. But the only way to learn and grow is through experience. So this is my first one. I'm sure I get better from here. And just leave your questions for me. Make sure you share this shit. Yeah, let's get this thing popping. There you go.